Hello. Whoa. Why is that backwards? So I put my mattress in the living room. Okay.
Good stuff. Change your camera to Surface Pro front or whatever. There you go.
No, I look like Chai.
Oh, whatever. I just got out of the shower. I do not
Okay.
care. I was like, maybe I should make myself a little bit presentable for this,
No.
seeing as I'm recording it. How
Oh,
are
I didn't know that. I'm good. How are you? Stand up straight.
so for my assignment, if I record my post-observation meeting, my write-up can be shorter. So
Okay.
I'll just do that so I don't have to write as much. You doing okay? How are you feeling?
Yeah. I'm feeling okay. I felt okay. So I texted Rick about returning, and then he called
Mhm.
me and he was like, no, you're not coming. You're just gonna stay at home. And then on Friday, you're gonna zoom in from my link that I'll send you. So I was like, okay. So now today's day 10. So technically, like my quarantine and everything should be over.
Mhm.
But yesterday I started having a headache again. So I fell asleep at 5 in the afternoon and then I woke up this morning. So
Oh my gosh,
yeah, I
girl.
should be fine. Yeah. I have my taste back in my
That's good.
Mhm.
All right, cool. Did you have a chance to look over the pictures that I sent you?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you are such an awesome teacher. Like you're
Thank
so
you.
engaging and the kids love
Thank
you
you.
and you can tell like they're just like in it, and I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you.
So like I just want to go over my questions that I had and then sort of my suggestions and see what your thoughts are about that.
Yes, let me
Uh,
pull it up on my computer.
okay.
Okay.
So one of your things that you asked me to look for was like your management expectations. You said there's a lot of kids kind of up and around all the time.
Yes.
So like initially when the lesson was about to start, all the kids were seated and
Yeah.
you had 5 students showing quiet coyote. Do you have like a reward for those kids or like what happens when they do
So
meet the expectation?
if they do the expectation, I have something called like pod points.
Okay.
So it's they have to be accountable for their own actions, but also like their peers. So
Mm-hmm.
like I mostly do it, but sometimes if I'm trying to get the class like on a roll, I don't do it all the time because they also
Yeah.
should just do things to get the points. They should just listen. So I kind of like
Right.
scatter it through there.
Yeah.
But then
That's
at the
fine.
end of the week, whatever pod point has the most points, they get candy.
Okay.
And then I also do that, like if someone your pod is talking, I'll erase a pod point from it.
Yeah.
So then I feel
Okay.
like, dang
Yeah. Okay. And then like what you had mentioned about them being up and around all the time, like I felt like I didn't really get to see a lot of that, but it
it.
also
Okay.
was like a
Yeah.
tiny
It was
little
small.
like I couldn't really see a whole lot. But I did notice that like when you were doing response cards, like it was like silent in there. I was like, that's
Mhm.
impressive. Like they're all doing their job right now. I thought like in the beginning when you were like name and data and response card, show me, show me, show me, like maybe they could do like a partner check for accountability where they like
Yes.
look at
And I
each
like
other's.
that too, because I don't really have bell work. Like as soon as, and
Mhm.
I think I'm going to change that now, especially after our meeting. Like I'll have them write down, like, or do something that had to relate to what the lesson we did the day before. So it
Yeah,
makes more sense. So it rolls off of it for them.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make that change, but for now, they just come in the room and they know get out a note card and write your name and the date. And then right when I walk in, like the last student is getting down, getting ready, I say repeat after me. So they have time to hear the date, see the number form, write it down, and then I get started. And every now and then I'll collect their response cards. And I
Mhm.
collect their response cards on the day of the week that I see that class for intervention, and I grade their response cards and I grade their LSAE work. So that's like where I get my 3 grades from
Mhm.
for each class is like the
Yeah.
participation, their DOL, their response card, and their LSAE. So I'll collect their response cards when I see them that afternoon for intervention, and I'll get their cards and it doesn't have the name on it. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do about this because
Right.
there's no name on it. And I gave you
Yeah.
time to write your name and you didn't write your name. So
Yeah.
I think checking that too, and like whichever one's checked it and give me a thumbs up, you'll get a pop one or something so they
Yeah.
know.
Or even like I've done in the past, like they have to highlight their name before they can move on, just
Okay,
to show
yeah,
that they
I
have
like
done
that
it.
too.
And then do they know when you're going to collect it? Like, do they know that you collect it on the day they have intervention? So they know that ahead of time, or is it kind of like they don't understand when you're going to
Some of them pick up when the intervention day is, and then
Uh-huh.
that's when I've also, and I kind of stopped doing this, but to get them to write more, because that was kind of a struggle, I
Uh-huh.
did a note card king or queen. So I would like walk around the room and look for the one that not only just had the most writing, because that could also just be
Right.
nonsense,
Yeah,
but
totally.
it has capital letter finger spaces and periods. And I would tape it up on my wall at the end of class
Mhm.
and then give them a certificate, and then they would
Nice.
all like
I'm sure they
all
would
have
love
the king
that.
or
You
queen.
could even
Yeah.
have like a royal court, like
Yes.
you just kind of put it. I've also seen teachers do like a raffle where they collect them all and then like the few best responses or all the best responses are entered into a raffle for like treasure box or whatever.
I like that
And that could
too.
be just
I like
random
that too.
whenever you just collect it
Yeah.
whenever and different for each block. Um, so then when you did you had the kids echo you at one point, and some of the kids are like screaming at you. Like, and I've
Yes,
noticed
every
that
day.
even when I sat with Rick too, like some of your kids are like yelling at you. And like I
Mhm.
think maybe you could
Mhm.
begin to revisit expectations for noise level for those
Mhm.
times and even change it up too. I said like have them whisper, have them lip sync or sing or whatever, like
That's a big
because
one too that I know that's important because I'll be by my computer if I'm ready to change the slide, and I'm usually there after the target because it goes right from the target to the next slide.
uh-huh.
And I have Abel who sits right in front of me, and he's always like this. So it's too
Yeah.
loud. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Um, and I thought you did an excellent job like unpacking the objective and like talking about the vocabulary and using visuals and like pulling it away from just seed dispersal, but dispersal in general and what that means. And then you even tied it into the kids dispersing later, which I thought was really cool. Um, I had a question about your DOL because I think it was incorrect on the slide because the actual DOL was aligned, but your slide said
Yes, about the
identify 4
plant
out of
life
5
cycle.
questions about the plant life cycle.
I think that it wasn't correct on
That was
on there. I forgot to update it.
um, and so this was the second day of seed dispersal, right? They had already had one
They had
day.
already heard. Yeah.
Okay. Um, you also had like great scaffolds, you know, you had the sentence frames, you had a word bank even for them when they were doing the what kind of seed dispersal is this? Um, so that was good. I recorded all your different MRS and like you used a bunch. The ones that I would have like to see, so the turn you did a turn and talk for the one about how is this picture showing dispersal about the kids running everywhere? And because it's kind of just like a one response thing, I was like, well, you could have maybe done like an oral choral and had everyone respond, the kids are dispersing or whatever, because
Okay.
if they're doing a turn and talk, they're going to share the same thing, right?
Okay.
So maybe getting a different kind of MRS with an oral core response for that one. And then again, revisiting expectations for noise level with the turn and
Yeah.
talk. I don't know what your procedure is in terms of like if you have like A partners and B partners, or how do you decide who goes first when they do a turn and talk?
So sometimes I'll be kind of random. Sometimes I'll say, like, I used to say, like, whichever one has longer hair goes first.
Right.
But then like I started thinking about that. Like we have Leo in our class, and like he'll never have an opportunity to go first. And so then I stopped saying
Well,
stuff
if you
about
do
like,
shorter hair,
yes, but then it's always, then they'll always know it's him. And then I just started thinking about that too. Like the taller one goes first. And every time I say that, Abel like pounds his fist down because he can't do it. So
yeah.
I started saying to them, and also just so they can know their line order numbers better, I say, like, nose partner, whoever's the higher one in line order goes first. So they have to
Okay.
figure out their number, which one's higher. Sometimes I'll say whichever the first one is to touch the ground. So it gets
Yeah.
them moving and they're a little bit, I kind
Yeah.
of mix it up that way, but I do
Yeah.
want to give them like A, B partners, or like, I know Toller, I don't know if she still does it, but she did like peanut butter and jelly partners.
Mhm.
I want to have like pictures on their desks too, so it's easy for them to identify. It's just, I'm always so tired
I
at
know,
the
I
end of
know,
it.
I know. I hear you,
Mhm,
girl. I know. You're like, I have all these
mhm,
ideas and things I want to do, but
mhm.
I just can't. And then my other suggestion for your MRS, you did whiteboards for like the gallery walk. And I think it would have been, again, this is more work, but like having like a note catcher with a clipboard so they could actually have like clear writing, because whiteboards can get really messy, especially because they were responding to different
Uh-huh.
spots. But then I thought it would have been cool if you could take that note catcher and then do a table talk instead of, because you guys spent a lot of time going over the responses to those cards. having a table talk where they all share out about what they found out, and then having them even answer the question, like, which do you think is the most effective, like in terms of getting their seeds dispersed. And that ups the rigor too, because it helps them to like synthesize the information and pull out like really what is most important. What are we supposed to be getting from this?
I agree.
I just looked at your LSAE work. It blows my mind how much you guys do. Like, I can't even imagine doing that every day. It's so much. Like, you had 27 pages of LSAE work for one lesson.
Yes, it used to be like 45.
I was like, oh my God. And your L work and your S1 work was like, so like, it seemed like so much more than your S2 and A. Like, yes, your S2 and A was more rigorous, but like you were asking a lot of your L's and your S1s, which is good. Like, they need that. But I was wondering, like,
But also sometimes, and this is the case with this lesson too, because a lot of it is posted on my Google Classroom because I was sharing it with the other schools. But sometimes what I'll do, and it wasn't the case for my S2s and my A's or my S1s, but for this one, my L's, I'll have a lot there because sometimes I can't decide. And then I'll print it and I'll choose like 3
okay.
pages.
So you don't actually give them all of that to do.
No, I stopped doing that now, although that was the case in there, but it became really confusing when I was sharing my work with other schools. I did that myself because in the morning when I came to print, I could kind of like see it fits physically, visually, and be like, okay,
yeah,
that.
for sure.
But yeah.
And I did like that you have like tons of visuals throughout, especially for the L's and S1s. And I also really liked that you were pulling in, because obviously seed dispersal is a part of the plant life cycle, but you were pulling in like the other parts of the plant life cycle in those assignments. I think you could have added to your objective, like, I will be able to describe seed dispersal and its importance to the plant life cycle or something like that, because that's, I mean, that was really what you were trying to do, right? They need to know seed dispersal, but they also need to know why it's important.
Yes.
These are just minor things. For your timer, were you setting it on your smartboard?
Yeah, it didn't show with the video.
So I couldn't see it on the video, but I knew you had one. And then for playing music, do you have an Echo Dot?
I do, I believe. Maybe.
I know I did for summer school. Then you wouldn't have to stop and like get your phone and like figure out your phone. You just be like, hey, Alexa, play Kids Bop or whatever. And it would be louder.
Okay.
And I mean, that's really all I had. I really was bummed that I couldn't be in your room because I really wanted to like see what kids were doing. And
possibly this week, you think?
Yes, no. So Amanda can cover my class.
Okay.
She's willing to do it. I just sent an email out to Rick and Noelle saying like, hey, because Noelle had already approved it last week before you were out. And I wrote like, hey, this was already approved. I'm just checking to see if it's okay now that she's going to be back. Can I watch her on Wednesday morning? So I'm hoping Wednesday morning they'll say, yes, I can come watch you.
Okay.
So then I can actually be there and see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
Cool. Do you have any other questions or things you want support with or need help with?
No, I'm really also thank you about bringing the next generation science standards to my attention, because talking it out with you and looking at the standards that we've got, they all are habitats. And I like that because I've gotten really deep in it with my students. And there's some of them that I understand the connection. I can see it in their eyes. Like I've taught about habitats and then the life cycle within habitats, and then how does like the water cycle impact the life cycle that impacts the habitats. And like I've gotten so into it in
like
ways that I'm like, I wish,
all that. Yeah.
Like I wish my teachers taught it like that, because science was always put on the back burner like growing up, I feel like, and even at my last school. So I definitely think they're getting a lot out of it too, which is exciting. I like it.
And I think you should push back on the lab situation. I know that I talked to Alicia Pagan about it, and she was doing a lot of labs. She said she's I
talked to her about that too.
Okay.
I asked her about it, and she had said that she was able to make it work like within the model. She said sometimes she did it as their LSAE work.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. So they would just participate like independently?
Like they would all be doing labs inside the room, but based off of like their DOL score. If they got L's and the L's were all doing experiment together at one table. And if they were
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
So their designation determined their like lab group.
Yes.
Okay.
That's something I can think about, but it's just
Yeah.
more work.
I know. Well, I would look into like see what you can find like there's like NGSS like whole curriculums. And I don't know, like obviously you'd have to make it your own with LSAE, but
It's doable. It's not impossible.
right? It's necessary.
There you go.
Okay, well, I hope you feel rested and better
Thank
for
you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Sleep all day.
Yeah.
I'm glad your mattress is in your living room. You can watch TV. Do you not have a couch?
No, I do.
Oh.
I do.
All right. Well, thank you for meeting with me.
Thank you.
This is, I mean, honestly, like you're my first experience with this. So thank you for being my guinea pig. And I'm hoping I can continue to
an honor.
Get better. All right. Well, have a great rest of your Sunday.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Wait. What? Where's your puppy?
Oh, hold on. You want me to go get him?
Okay. Yeah. Come here. You come here, Wally. Wally, come here. Hi. Come here. No, you come here. Come here. Come here, Wally. Come here. Come on. Come here, baby. Hi. Come here. Hi, Wally. Come on. Come here. Come here, Wally. Ah. Oh my goodness.
Ajax.
Ajax is here. He is so cute.
Right?
Look at this is Wally.
You say hi to Wally? Who is that? Oh my gosh. Your dog's like, what?
Hi, Ajax. He is so cute. Where did you get him?
We adopted him from El Paso County, like Canine Rescue.
Did you know he was going to be there? Or did you just go and see him?
No, so it actually just worked out that my husband's boss, his daughter is like a foster mom, basically.
Yes.
For rescue dogs. And so she had these two, him and his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we just were like,
he's so
we're in the market for a puppy.
Let me see his face.
And it worked out.
Is he a good boy?
Good. He's so good.
Oh, he's so cute. How is Theo with him?
They're good. Both the boys. He nibbles quite a bit, which Rowan especially freaks out about, but
yeah.
We're trying to train him to just chew his toys, but he gets excited. Huh.
Oh my gosh, you're busy. You have a lot on your plate.
No, I know. But Will's doing a lot more with the dog than I am. Awesome. I wake up once in the night to take him out.
Mm-hmm. He's so cute. I just see
All
his
right.
ears. All right. Have a good day.
You too. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.